There are mysteries that have spanned the ages, questions that have shaped history and continue to baffle us today. Our curiosity to understand our roots, our heritage, and our origins is an innate part of the human condition. It's a quest that has driven countless explorations, sparked endless debates, and uncovered remarkable truths about who we are and where we come from. Today, we turn our attention to a controversial theory that has been the subject of many discussions, a theory suggesting that white people might be the descendants of the biblical Edomites. This theory has stirred up a great deal of intrigue, fascination, and even controversy. It's a theory that, if true, could fundamentally alter our understanding of history and heritage. The question then becomes, are these theories based on fact or fiction? Are they grounded in hard evidence or mere speculation? But are these theories based on fact? Let's delve into the history books and find out. Before we can answer if white people descended from the Edomites, we first need to understand who the Edomites were. Diving into the depths of history, the Edomites were an ancient civilization that thrived in the southern region of modern-day Jordan, a land known as Edom or Idumea. The name Edom translates to red, a reference to the distinct red sandstone hills that are characteristic of the region. The Edomites were descendants of Esau, the elder twin brother of Jacob, who was later named Israel. Their story is depicted in the Bible, specifically in the book of Genesis. Esau was said to have sold his birthright to Jacob for a bowl of red stew, hence the name Edom. The Edomites were known for their distinctive culture and impressive architectural feats. They built elaborate structures and cities, including their capital, Petra, carved directly into the red sandstone cliffs. Their society was highly organized, with a monarchy ruling over a robust economy supported by agriculture, trade, and metalwork. In terms of religion, the Edomites practiced a polytheistic faith, worshipping a pantheon of gods, with Kos, a god associated with the weather, as their chief deity. This was in contrast to their Israelite neighbors, who practiced monotheism. Historically, the Edomites and the Israelites had tumultuous relations, often marked by conflict. The two nations were frequently at odds, as documented in several biblical and historical texts. Despite their contentious history, however, the Edomites were eventually conquered by the Israelites under King David, and later integrated into the Judean kingdom by John Hyrcanus, a ruler during the Hasmonean period in the 2nd century BCE. Noted scholars have extensively studied the Edomites, their influence on biblical times, and their subsequent assimilation into other cultures. The Edomite story is a captivating tale of power, conflict, and survival, etched into the annals of history. With this understanding of the Edomites, we can now explore the theory connecting them to modern white people. The theory suggesting that white people are descendants of the Edomites has its roots in various interpretations of biblical and historical texts. This theory, though not universally accepted, has gained traction among a certain section of scholars and enthusiasts. It's a theory that has been explored and examined from various angles, and its proponents argue from a range of perspectives, each adding a unique layer to the debate. One of the key arguments is rooted in the interpretation of the Bible. Proponents of the theory often quote Genesis chapter 25, verse 25, where Esau, the progenitor of the Edomites, is described as red and hairy. They argue that this could be an allusion to the fair skin and hair of the white race. Historical texts, too, are brought into play. The writings of the Roman Jewish historian Flavius Josephus, for instance, are often quoted. Josephus describes the Edomites as having intermingled with the Greeks and Romans, both predominantly white societies. This, proponents argue, could potentially explain the racial lineage. Some scholars also point to linguistic connections. They suggest that the word Edom means red in ancient Hebrew, and this could be a reference to skin color. They further argue that the region associated with the Edomites, now part of modern-day Jordan, was known for its red sandstone, linking the people and the land in a symbolic relationship. Proponents also refer to the Edomites' historical antagonism with the Israelites, as depicted in biblical accounts. They argue that this, in some way, could represent racial tensions that have persisted through the ages. As we delve deeper, it's clear that the theory is complex, multifaceted, and fraught with contention. Its proponents argue passionately, drawing on a diverse array of sources to support their views. However, it's worth noting that not all scholars agree with this interpretation. While the theory is compelling, it's important to examine the counter-arguments to give a balanced view. Opening. Like any theory, the idea that white people descended from the Edomites is not without its critics. As we delve into the counter-arguments, we find a plethora of skeptics who challenge this theory. These critics argue from different standpoints, some from historical and others from scientific perspectives. Historians point to the lack of concrete evidence linking the Edomites, an ancient Near Eastern group, to modern white populations. They argue that the Edomites, as described in historical texts, were a Semitic people similar to other groups in the region, including the Hebrews. They question the logic of singling out this one group as the progenitors of all white people. Critics also highlight the complexity and diversity of human migration patterns throughout history. They point out that the movement of people across continents over millennia makes it highly improbable that one group could be the sole ancestors of any modern racial group. From a scientific standpoint, geneticists argue that the theory oversimplifies the complex nature of human genetics. They remind us that the genetic variations seen in different racial and ethnic groups today are the result of thousands of years of evolution, migration, and intermixing of various human populations. To attribute the genetic makeup of an entire racial group to one ancient population, they argue, is to ignore the nuanced and multifaceted nature of human genetic history. Moreover, skeptics raise concerns about the misuse of biblical texts to support racial theories. They caution against interpreting ancient texts in ways that align with modern racial categories, arguing that such interpretations can lead to misinformation and misunderstanding. To quote historian Dr. Jane Elliott, "The danger in oversimplifying history and genetics is that it can lead to a distorted view of the world, one that ignores the rich diversity and interconnectedness of all human beings." So, where does this leave us in our quest to answer this age-old question? Well, it certainly highlights the need for a measured and nuanced approach to understanding our past, one that takes into account the complexities of human history and genetics. Closing. So where does this leave us in our quest to answer this age-old question? The question of whether white people are the descendants of the Edomites is complex, with compelling arguments on both sides. We've journeyed through the mysteries of historical narratives, delved into the lives of the Edomites, and explored the theories that link them to today's white population. We've heard counter-arguments, scrutinized sources, and examined evidence. And yet, here we are. The definitive answer still eludes us, shrouded in the mists of time. The threads of history intertwine in complex patterns, each strand carrying the weight of civilizations, cultures, and peoples. We've gazed upon these threads, trying to trace one specific strand, that of the Edomites. Did it weave its way into the fabric of the people we now identify as white? Some say yes, offering biblical scriptures and historical documents as their proof. Others disagree, countering with their own interpretations and evidence. But perhaps, just perhaps, the ultimate answer isn't the crux of the matter. Maybe it's not about definitively proving or disproving this particular theory. Maybe it's about the journey itself, the exploration, the questioning, the learning. It's about opening our minds to possibilities, challenging our preconceptions, and deepening our understanding of the past. Because in the grand tapestry of human history, we are all interwoven. Our stories intersect and overlap, creating a rich, intricate pattern that is still being woven today. Each of us is a thread in that tapestry, contributing to the whole, regardless of our individual origins. So are white people the descendants of the Edomites? The jury might still be out on that one. But in the end, does it truly matter? We are all part of the same human story, a story that transcends borders, cultures, and time. Whether Edomite or not, we share a common humanity, a shared past that shapes our present, and a collective future that we can shape together. This exploration of history and identity has been an intriguing journey, one that we hope has sparked your curiosity. The winding paths of our past are filled with untold stories, waiting to be discovered, waiting to be understood. It's a tantalizing quest, one that beckons you to delve deeper, to unearth the secrets that lie beneath the sands of time. Whether you're unmasking the mysteries of the Edomites or tracing the lineage of civilizations long gone, every question you ask, every answer you seek, is a step towards understanding the intricate tapestry of our shared history. As we grapple with the past, we shape our future. So, pursue this path of discovery. Embrace the thrill of the chase, the joy of revelation. Keep asking the questions that challenge, that provoke, that inspire. Remember, if you found value in this video, show your support by subscribing and liking. Continue your journey into the past and keep asking the questions that shape our future.